high one for maybe Monday or something, you know.
But he said no, right? He asked not to.
No.
So Jose, I read your story last week. You talked about FGV CEO, new CEO, Datuk Zakaria. Actually, how did you get the interview?
We have friends in common, quite a few friends in common. So they actually approached me and they asked what I think of FGV. So of course, we were not very positive on it. You know, I mean, they made a lot of acquisitions and all that. Then they offered me the interview. I said, why not? So we sent him some questions and
that's how it happened.
We met up with him.
Also, I read from your article itself, you have transcribed some questions and answers from the interview itself. And from what I understood or from what I saw from the article, I thought he was quite reserved. How is he like as a person? Like in real life, how is he like? Is he talkative, friendly?
He's very chatty. And he comes across a damn nice guy, you know. It's very hard to say. He's not like one of these corporate types, you know. You ask them anything, they don't answer you, you know. They say things like, we are cautiously optimistic on the outlook. That sort of, you know, but this guy, no. And it seemed as though he will say it as it is. Like when we asked him about Eagle High, he made it clear they are no longer looking at it. Then their target's 15,000 a year plantation. Last year they missed it. They hit 12,000. He could have said we almost hit it, but you know, but he was came across as quite sincere.
And also very down to earth, this guy.
Very down to earth, yeah.
So what happened was they called off the deals for the acquisition of PT Eagle High and also another one in China.
Yeah.
Actually, what happened? Did he actually explain why they didn't go through this acquisition?
He didn't get into the details, but what he basically said was that right now they're going to focus on developing what they have, the assets they have. But when you look at it, Zhongling was about close to 1 billion ringgit. Eagle High at that time was close to 3. So it's expensive. You better make sure you know what you're doing. You know? But the way he came out and I think April 1st, immediately after April 1st he came on board. Then after immediately he cancelled Zhongling acquisition. Then recently he said Eagle High, they're not going to pursue it. So he's quite a brave person to come out and do all this. You know.
Datuk Zakaria also say something that they are not going to look at M&As in near future, meaning nowadays they are probably not going to look at it. But what are the focus they are going to do
I think they are replanting now, which takes quite a lot of capex. But even then, if you look at it, I mean, this is my own personal thing. I think if a good deal came, I think he would still go for it. You know? I think he's just saying that focus, but that's just my opinion. I don't know, it's what I gauge from him. You know?
So when we look at the earnings for his last quarter, he actually incurred some net loss. But what did he say about, did he actually indicate that they are going to turn around the company at the end of this year?
What he says is the worst is over. You know, so from that I gather that I think things should be better, you know. He seemed very confident when he said it. And we also told him, we've heard all this before. You know, and he says, this time we'll do it. I don't know how convincing it is or what, but he said it, you know.
But did he say what kind of things that they are going to focus? Because when you look at the CPO market, CPO price is low, fresh fruit bunch is low, and fresh fruit bunch yield is low as well.
Did he say CPO price is going to pick up? He says it's unnatural that it's so low now. So he's got a different sort of view, basically, you know. Our analysts are all saying that, it's going to go down. But he says, no, it should go up. So I think based on that, you know.
And also, in one of the questions that you asked, they say they are not going to they're not going to target so much on the 1 million hectares that they are targeting by 2020. How come that is not a priority anymore?
I would think they don't want to spend so much maybe. And they already have 400,000 hectares, right? So I think that was just a number maybe, and that was done just before elections. So that could have been a sort of like a rally or something like that, just chest thumping. We're going to have 1 million. I don't know for certain, but he seemed very clear that they're not bothered about the 1 million target. And the 1 million target was also linked to Eagle High, if you remember. If they bought Eagle High, they would have that 1 million. So now I think they scrap Eagle High. I think the target's also forgotten. You know.
Coming back a little bit on his personality, right? Because he was previously one of the CEOs in FGV's subsidiary companies. So by appointing him as a group CEO, do you think he actually will regain confidence from the shareholders in terms of share price?
what I gathered was this. I don't know him personally, but I spoke to about maybe 7 or 8 people before I went to see him. Surprisingly, no one had anything bad to say about him. Usually there'll be at least 1 or 2 they'll say, yeah, useless, but this one, no. He was like, everyone had good things to say. One very senior fellow said, if he gets some good advisors, he can go far. So I think maybe when you're the CEO, it is not just about like share price and all this, and it's also about going down to the ground, turun padang, seeing the people, making sure they're happy, and the bigger picture, maybe.
Okay.
But the share price has reacted quite well. Like the things he has said, when he said they're not going after Eagle High, it went up. Now I think what he says maybe should be better. Also,
I think that's the reason why the share price has been running up currently. Now it's at
there
about
was
1 ringgit over
180. They were saying Syed Mukhtar is coming in. He said he's not aware, but that could be done at a very high level. You never know.
For more on the stories, pick up a copy of The Edge Weekly at all good newsstands.